Chapter 2. The Honor of Qiwāmah and the Standards of Deserving. An honor made heavier by its burden. Picture Qiwāmah like a medal that never hangs unless the heart can carry its weight. The true medal doesn't gleam in photographs. It shines when the sweat of the day mingles with the calm of night. When a man comes home tired but present, and his face tells the house a quiet truth. I'm here, and I won't let go of the helm. That is the honor we mean, not a privilege waved in a wife's or children's faces, but a rank God grants to those who shoulder the trust, guarding the bounds, spending without vanity, judging without favoritism, and tempering strength with mercy that does not melt. Think of it as a generous tree. Its roots are hidden, its fruit seen and tasted. The roots are the unseen choices, making a call on time, paying before speaking about it, saying a word of truth without theatrics. The fruit is what your family can see. Steadiness in decisions, serenity in conversation, and warmth that returns after firmness without leaving a scar. The deeper the roots, the heavier the cost you carry, the wider the shade and the sweeter the fruit. Here the founding line becomes clear. The more the duty, the greater the dignity. In our Diyan, honor isn't a guest badge, it's a badge of service. Fix the picture with a small scene, school enrollment for your child. One route is easy, whatever you want, to buy a quiet evening. But that quiet is a mirage that evaporates. The other route is the leaders. Listen, summarize, decide, then carry the bill, go yourself, finish the forms, and promise a review later if new proof appears. The first buys quick comfort at the price of slow respect. The second pays the price of leadership and is lifted in the heart without asking. The oath of honor, 3 covenants, a man recites to himself. Honor won't live on slogans. It needs covenants spoken first in private, then translated in public. Make them 3 and read them to yourself whenever the scales wobble. 1. The covenant of right. Tell your own soul, plainly, I will not let falsehood through my door, and I will not leave a duty undone. This stands before moods, before favors, before the weather of other people's expectations. If your home is being asked to yield on veil, reputation, or clear shard limits, don't spin the wheel of whim. Lay it on the scale of right. It may cost you an hour of discomfort. It purchases a lifetime of honor. A home that knows its Lord has a boundary that isn't for sale sleeps safely even if the moment is noisy. 2. The covenant of bearing the cost. I pay first. Bear the cost before you announce the decision. If you chose a school, you enroll and you pay. If you set a boundary, you endure the natural turbulence that follows. A leader who tosses the invoice to others cuts down his own rank. But the one who hides the sting of cost in his chest to spare his family the harshness of the road, his degree is written even if he never mentions it. 3. The covenant of gentleness. I will deliver the right with a kind tongue. No cruelty that humiliates, no flattery that dissolves the standard. Gentleness is not surrender. It is the way you carry a firm line at the right time with words that preserve dignity. State a solid decision, then close it with a real smile, a promised review window, and a touch of warmth that tells the other, this boundary protects, it does not punish. A rough tongue tears, a gentle one lands, and when truth lands gently, it settles without thorns. Hold to these 3, and you won't need to raise your voice to prove your station. Your station will be proven by the bills you paid, the bounds you kept, and the warmth you restored after resolve. That is the kind of honor that lasts. The law of proportion. Dignity rises with duty. A quiet law runs through homes and hearts alike. The more you carry, the higher you rise. Not the weight of objects, the weight of meanings. Spend before you ask, decide, then accept the accounting. Guard satyr even if some around you bristle. Your standing grows in your wife's and children's eyes without a word. Why? Because the human heart respects the one who pays the price, even when it disagrees with him, and despises the one who dodges the bill, even when he sometimes gets it right. Look at the opposite, and the point sharpens. A man who buys peace with gifts at every disagreement or hangs his failed calls on his wife's neck, You wanted this. You pushed me. Loses face not because people are harsh, but because he slipped the rope of duty from his own shoulders. The sentence, I am responsible, raises you, even if you err, and then correct. The sentence, they made me, lowers you, even when you happen to be right. The same law explains why people's dealings with you change when your bond with duty changes. When they see you put obligation before indulgence, establish maruf though it costs, hold your tongue when anger surges, close files with a single call and then bring back warmth. Your family senses, without analysis, that there is a back they can lean on. And then, without your asking, honor arrives. Calmer respect, easier obedience, and advice brought to you early because they know your time has sanctity and your word has weight. Standards of deserving. When we say, this man has earned the medal of Qiwāmah, we're not naming a pleasant feeling or a one-off surge of bravado. We're pointing to signs you can see and track, like a pulse at the wrist. 1. A present, steady deen. Prayer on time that nails the day to a column of light. A daily wird of Quran that mood does not interrupt, and God consciousness that shows up in decisions before it shows up on the tongue. He won't reach for a shubha, the doubtful, because the fear of Allah outpaces the lure of gain. He won't buy an hour's ease with a sin that will burden a lifetime. 2. Truth in speech and firmness of word. He says, and then he delivers. He promises, and then he keeps. When he errs, he apologizes for the wrong, not for holding the office of Qiwāmah. Repentance is humility, while apologizing for the station is sawing off the chair everyone needs when the storm hits. 3. Trustworthiness in provision. Not more money, but ordered money. The home's obligations before ornaments and whims. Transparency that lets his wife feel what comes in and what goes out is known. And a gift is never hush money to muffle a rightful boundary, but kindness in its time, beautifying the right rather than buying a pass around it. 4. A presence that reassures, a calm face, an even tone, appointments kept. Over time, a quiet conviction forms in the home. When he's here, the right is said. When it's said, it's done. When it's done, the warmth returns. 5. Boundaries stated once and honored, not hollow threats flung in anger, not syrupy concessions at the first tier, but safety lines announced with sense and gentleness, then lived until they feel like habit, not theater. When these 5 stand together, he doesn't need to raise his voice to sell anyone on his mettle. He only needs to live it. Homes read deeds before they believe declarations. A small, concrete evening. A request arrives for a purchase both of you had already filed under deferable luxury. You listen, you show regard. Then you say, we'll keep the obligations and push this to the 1st of next month. The call lands softly. Tomorrow you quietly clear the bills. No grandstanding. In that one sequence, the signs were visible. Present deen, a clean ruling, a true word, no backpedal under pressure, trustworthy provision, straight scales, a reassuring presence, steady tone, and boundaries honored. That's Qiwāmah understood without a lecture. And honor, conditional by design. Honor isn't a one-time voucher with an endless balance. It's a performance contract renewed daily. It rises beautifully when the office is fulfilled, protection, provision, justice, and gentleness. And it sinks, slowly but surely, when the office becomes a slogan without substance. What collapses the rank fastest is habitual injustice, the cutting insult, the hardness that chills the heart, the discipline that breaks more than it mends. People may pardon a lapse of an hour. They do not forget a pattern that layers scratches on faces they love. Next comes abandoning clear maruf, a doorway to sin left ajar in the name of flexibility, or a duty dropped under the banner of mood. Families learn then that the standard can be bought cheap. Third is announcing decisions and handing the bill to others. Front row for the speech, back row when it's time to pay. The image of leadership crumbles because hearts honor the one who pays the price and quietly scorn the one who pays with words. The last leak is double standards, preaching punctuality then showing up late, talking Geirah, protective honor, while steering the family's name toward suspicious places. Here, you don't only forfeit the legitimacy of the boundary, you drain respect itself. People don't hate mistakes as much as they hate hypocrisy. And still, this honor isn't brittle, it is merciful to those who are sincere. A stumble is forgiven when it is followed by a clear apology and a corrective act. The unjust one repents and changes his manner, the negligent one shuts the door he left open. The one who dodged the costs shoulders them, publicly, on the next decision. The inconsistent one brings the outer life in line with the inner. Then the rank returns, slowly, because dignity is regained by continuity, not by a single tearful moment. Conditional honor is like a spring. Keep its channel clean and the water runs clear. Let the grit sit and it clouds. But it does not run dry so long as its keeper purifies it day after day. Beacons from the Sīrah. To keep this from sounding like pretty talk, look to guiding light. Allah's messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, fused what many think can't live together, iron resolve with gentle manners, and made them sing in harmony. When truth called, he stood for it, unfazed by blame for Allah's sake. Yet at home he would mend his sandals and serve his family. Firmness at the level of principle, tenderness in the everyday. On the day of Hudaybiyah, when hearts boiled, he consulted, then resolved, then acted. He shaved and sacrificed, and the people followed. Sīrah, that was genuine, a single clear decision, a concrete deed that kept words from evaporating. That is how we understand Qiwāmah, an honor proven by carrying its burden. Look at Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, when the peninsula shook with apostasy. He did not answer with a wavering speech, but with a decision whose cost he himself would carry. By Allah, if they withheld, I would fight them for it. He didn't chase honor. He bore the weight, and honor came. Umar, may Allah be pleased with him. His famed severity was a scale of justice, not a lash of domination. He walked the night to seek out the weak and meet their needs with his own hands, so hearts seemed to say, this strictness does not frighten, it is fair. Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, was modesty and generosity outstretched, together with resolve where resolve belonged. Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, was the wisdom of a judge, grasping truth from all sides and setting it in its proper place. These aren't museum pieces. They are working patterns, honest consultation, a decision, bearing the cost, and warmth that returns hearts to their places. Lay those patterns over your life, and the way clears. You needn't inflate your voice or stage harshness. Let principle lead, turn decision into deed at your expense, and keep your tongue soft after you've closed the file. Then the metal gleams on its own. For in the prophetic school, honor lives not on talk, but on costs paid in quiet, truth established without noise, and gentleness that soothes after justice. A self-test. Mirror, not whip. Before you march on, pause like a man at a clear pool studying his own face. No spreadsheet, just calm honesty. Picture 5 close-ups from your life. 1. Your last hard call at home. School choice, photo policy, a visit with conditions. Did you state one clear sentence and shoulder the cost without hanging it on someone else? If yes, your rank rests on deeds, not volume. If no, honor here is waiting for the one willing to carry it. 2. The last spike of emotion. Tears, anger, sudden tension. Did you keep to the right and cool the moment with a short adjournment, or bend the right just to calm the room? If you bent it, you bought a minute's quiet at the price of a week's respect. 3. Money in your hand. Are priorities still in place? Debt, shelter, learning, health, before the extras? Did you offer a courteous no when it was due without wounding or purchasing silence? If you wavered, remember, when money becomes lord of decisions, it strips you of the metal of service. 4. Time. Your appointments, your presence. Did I'll be there become I was there? Guarded time is part of dignity. The man who can't keep hours can't persuade hearts that the helm is steady. 5. The family's privacy. When conflict sharpened, did you parade it to feeds and relatives or keep it covered? And if stuck, take it to a sane, trustworthy arbiter. He who guards the secret guards the station. Answer honestly, and you'll know where you stand with honor. You rise as high as the burdens you bear. This isn't self-flagellation. It's spotting the leak so you can tighten one small bolt today and let tomorrow feel the larger effect. A medal that shines when its bill is paid. Qiwāmah here was never a title to pin on nor slogans to craft. It is a medal of service that only gleams when its bill is paid. A right upheld, provision fulfilled, a boundary protected, and warmth restored after the verdict. The heavier the load on your shoulder, the brighter the honor on your brow. The more you dodge the cost, the dimmer the glow, no matter how fine the speeches. We named standards you can see, not merely say, and learned that honor is conditional on performance. It rises with justice and gentleness and sinks with injustice, neglect, and double standards. Homes aren't persuaded by oratory. They're persuaded by receipts, decisions you paid for, time you protected, money you ordered, and a tongue that brings warmth after the file is closed. From here, we cross into the next chapter. Weaning the good-natured from people-pleasing. From addicted approval to quiet self-respect, we'll pull up the roots of the urge to appease, practice the courteous no without collision, and build self-respect with silence and decision.